The UN in Vanuatu says 24 people have died and 3,300 are displaced after Cyclone Pam hit the Pacific archipelago early on Saturday. The UN Disaster Assessment and Coordination Team in the capital, Port Vila, said 37 evacuation centers had been set up, but communication with outer islands was still down. President Baldwin Lonsdale said the storm had wiped out all development of recent years. He called again for international aid. Of those who died, 11 were from Tafea Island, 8 from the main island, Efate, and 5 from Tanna. The evacuation centers were catering for the many people who had lost their homes, the UN said, adding that the response effort was for now focusing on the capital and Efate. After aerial assessments of the damage caused by the storm, Shefa remained the only province declared an emergency, the UN said. Aid began arriving in the storm-hit nation, one of the world's poorest, after flights to Port Vila resumed. Tropical Cyclone Pam is slowly weakening as it travels towards New Zealand and poses no further threat to Vanuatu or the South Pacific, a report by the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA, says. The BBC's John Donison, in the capital Port Vila, says just about every house there has been damaged and the situation for many people is bleak. One village chief said there was a desperate need for fresh water supplies. The Category 5 storm, with winds of up to 300 km per hour, 185 miles per hour, struck populated areas when it reached Vanuatu early on Saturday local time, +11 GMT. President Lonsdale, who was attending a disaster preparedness conference in Japan when the storm hit, has appealed for international help, telling AFP news agency, "The humanitarian need is immediate, we need it right now. After all the development we have done for the last couple of years and this big cyclone came and just destroyed all the infrastructure the government has built. Completely destroyed." Earlier, Mr. Lonsdale had described the storm as a monster, and said he had not been able to confirm that his own family was safe. The president said climate change had contributed to the disaster, adding that his country had seen changing weather patterns, rising seas, and heavier than average rain. In a statement on Sunday, Oxfam Australia said this was likely to be one of the worst disasters ever seen in the Pacific. World Vision said it had not been able to contact more than 30 of its staff. Pam had already caused major damage on other Pacific islands, including Kiribati and the Solomon Islands. Tuvalu declared a state of emergency after the cyclone caused flash floods there.